Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Views and Dues, week 13, Sunday preview show, the birthday edition. We got a full panel for you today. Man, hey, look, we got a great week of football here coming up this week. Let's just dive right into the cast that we have here today. Look, man, these is the usual suspects, excluding the one guy, Mr. Schefter himself. He may be here today. We may be able to get him here. He had a couple other obligations. We got Germ So True. We got my guy MJ. We got J Ham, the Godfather, Lab Extraordinaire Vic Jr., and our extra special guest. We got April. April is back, y'all. Y'all, by popular demand, we have April back as well. So with that being said, we had April's birthday this week. Me and Ham had a birthday this week. MJ's birthday is coming up in like 2-3 days. Look, we out here. This season is tough. And then, of course, we still got the Lab Extraordinaire. His birthday is on the other side of the calendar, but we're going to have to get a birthday show for him one day. With that being said,
Appreciate it.
fellas, lady, how is everybody doing? April, how are you?
I'm fabulous. Birthday just passed. Love it. Ready to go. Brought a bottle for the show.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There we
Okay.
go.
Oh,
We got sound effects?
Okay.
We got sound effects? She in her bag early. Okay.
Oh, she toasted. This is not. This is live, baby. We out here.
Guys out there, especially the ones on the screen today.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Next, J Ham, man. Just having you here is always a great thing. We got the historian on the Zoom. Basically, man, we're gonna let this man do his thing today. We're gonna let him be the greatest version of himself, which is every time he's on the show, he always got game for you. Ham, man, holla at these folks, man. Let them know what's going on.
People, what's good, man? I mean, we got December birthdays rounded out. We got April on the 3rd, German on the 4th. That was yesterday, MJ on the 9th. Vic still ain't seen Major League. I don't understand why, but we'll discuss that at another time as well. Full slate of football. I got the unusual Sunday off. I put my time in and say, I need the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. So I might as well do my thing and come hang out with the scene family.
Absolutely. MJ, man, what's going on, man?
You already know what it is, man. I mean, birthday vibes. I celebrate the whole month. So from December 1st to December 31st on New Year's Eve, we living. You already see when the goggles on, it's a wrap. Like, I don't even know what my name is at this point. Insert name here. Like, we out here. So also, right now I'm representing my son's brand. He made this branded shirt, Branded Billionaire. If y'all want to copy, he get 100% of the profits. I don't touch his money. He don't touch mine. That's our agreement. And we're going to keep it moving that way.
Absolutely. Well, nephew, we're gonna have to get a couple of these shirts from you.
Come to the shop.
And of course, man, my dog, the Lab Extraordinary. Absolutely. Hey, and of course, the Lab Extraordinary. It is our season. It's scouting season, baby. We got the Lab Extraordinaire, the Scout Extraordinaire, the Lab Extraordinaire, Mr. Technician himself, Vic Jr. I'll let these folks let them know what's going on, man.
Jerm, I just got word. I just got notification that one of your favorite quarterbacks, Tua, is going to start today. Expected to start. So I had to make some lineup changes, man, because I have Fitzpatrick on my lineups. I was happy about that. He gonna throw for like 3 touchdowns today, and here they come throwing Tua. So, we'll see how – this is a playoff team, man. What's going on, bro? But listen, let's just talk football because this is what we do best. This is what I love. Let's do it. Start.
All right, man. We're going to go ahead and we're going to dive right into it this week. So the big thing is we found out that there was 4 strands of COVID allegedly in the Baltimore Ravens locker room this week. We won't talk too much about this today, but it was 4 strands in which they was able to control 3, and then one is the one who got the players going, got the players with the COVID. At the end of the day, we know what this season was going to entail when you opted in. We got to protect ourselves. We got to be a lot more aware about certain things. That's really my only point of this week. Hey, look, that's it. It's not very much else that needs to be said about it. We'll talk more about it on Tuesday before the game. And that's just what that is. But at the end of the day, panel, is there anything else that we would like to add to this scenario before I move on? All right. With that being said, we just gonna get to the next part of this, and we're gonna make this real simple. Hey man, it's week 13. That means you are who I know you are. That's the segment in the show today is you are who you are, and I know who you are. So I know what you're supposed to do this week if you take care of your business or if you do decide to step above or step up to the plate. We got a couple step up to the plate games today on the slate. But we're gonna start right now in Miami. Perfect segue, Mr. Vic. In Miami, we got the Bengals, the Burrowless Bengals, traveling to Miami. Welcome to Miami. Well, Venivo, I'm Miami. Party in the city when the heat is on. But the heat is on the Bengals because you guys are going to have a lot of things to do this offseason because you may lose your franchise quarterback for the second year of his rookie contract. So that means when he comes back for this third year, you need to be in prime position for you to be able to make that Super Bowl push within those next 3, 4, 5 years. So before you have to pay him that money. That being said, Dolphins, as Vic said, they have a quarterback controversy when they don't need to have one. I don't understand what the purpose of this is. I don't understand what it is that they're doing. It makes entirely no sense. So at the end of the day, man, it's really simple. We got the Vegas has it as a 42.5 for the over under. We got the Dolphins getting 10.5 points. Hey, man, let's start at the top. Key matchups, Vic Jr., what we got?
Bro, well, again, Miami right now is a playoff team. Miami right now has a playoff defense. Okay, that's how good they're playing defensively. You got Xavier Howard, who leads the league with 7 interceptions. One of the best ball hawks on defense this year, and he can get a couple more today against Brandon Allen, who is Joe Burrow's replacement. But then you got a situation on offense, like we alluded to. Interesting stat here from ESPN. The Dolphins average 0.06 expected points added per play. With Tua on the field, it's minus 0.08, meaning that's the difference between having the 18th ranked offense and the 31st ranked offense. Okay, so with Fitzpatrick, basically you get more bigger plays, a higher chance to score every play. With Tua, that goes down significantly. So they should be able to win this game because, of course, the defense. But we're gonna see what Tua has to take a step to justify this Fitzpatrick benching still.
Absolutely. Ham, you got anything you want to add on this one?
Well, I think that's why they're playing Tua, why they're starting them today, because they're playing, WKRP Cincinnati Bengals. That simple alone. It's like get them the reps. Get them the reps right now while we can. We still in play, still in playoff position. We'll have them both as ready as possible when we get to January, if they can hold tight and still get to January, which I believe they can,
Right.
but they'll be fine with it. But also, if it's not going well, you probably have to pull it, because once again, you're still in playoff position. We're in December now.
And they already showed that they'll pull him too, which is crazy. So
right, so it's like Jerm said, in the beginning, it's one of those quarterback controversies that shouldn't be a controversy, but at the same time, they might have some type of benefit out of it. If it's not affecting their overall culture, though, they'll be all right.
Absolutely. MJ, you have anything on this one for the gambling and for the fantasy players?
The Dolphins walk away with this easily. Definitely invest in the Dolphins defense. I think Devontae Parker find the end zone as well. I also like the running game for the Dolphins because I think they're going to be up early so that they can be able to get it handed off. I'm just pro Dolphins on this situation. I mean, I don't think the quarterback in the Bengals had enough reps or had enough time to be able to prepare for a defense this potent. It's just one of them unfortunate things for the Bengals in which you kind of got to count your losses.
All right. And April, anything else that you would like to add?
No, you guys pretty much covered it. I just feel without Burrow, there's
Really nothing to talk about with Cincinnati, huh?
I mean, it's Miami should win this game. Period.
Are we taking the Dolphins with this 10 points? 10.5 points.
Sign me up.
Okay. Predictions. I'll start and I'll go first. Give me Miami by 7, 27-20. Hey, my biggest concern today is Tua Jesse Bates. That is who his running mate is going to be today. Jesse Bates. Can you beat Jesse in a duel? Because if it goes down to that, I'm picking Jesse. And we don't want to get to that point. Really that simple. Vic, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I got that's a good assessment there. That's a lab assessment right there. But yeah, of course we got to go to Dolphins. Just the defense is too strong, and we're gonna keep them in that game.
Ham, who you picking this week?
Give me a 305, 24-10, 305.
April?
I'm going to go with Miami, 17-10.
MJ, you want to put a score prediction on this insert name here?
Nah, I do want to say the trick love the kids though.
I'm going to let the sun shine in.
Trick love the kids.
Next game on the docket, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Minnesota to play with the Kirk Cousins and the surging Minnesota Vikings. The
You like
Vikings
that?
yeah, you like that. The Vikings are a 10-point favorite in this game. The over-under is at 51. Simply put, Jacksonville, the one thing that I like about Jacksonville is they play the entire game and they fight. That's what I like. Here's what I don't like. They throw a lot of punches that don't land anywhere. Just like a young boxer, you don't know how to win. You don't know how to strategically put your combinations together, and that's what the issues here with Jacksonville. You have a nice, solid running game. You have a nice back out of the backfield who can do that and run the football very efficiently and effectively. And most importantly, and the biggest point of all of this is you have a lot of young pieces on your defense that you're going to be able to continue to grow with and use. You just got to get some veteran players to influx with their youth. And then you're probably going to need to figure out what you want to do at quarterback, most importantly. With that being said, that's really all that needs to be said on that front. Minnesota, it's this simple. Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, and Adam Thielen. If Thielen is lacing them up today, then that gives you another weapon. Justin Jefferson has exceeded my expectations this year. I didn't think he was going to be like this year, but he has already demonstrated a lot of the things that I already liked about him as we scouted him on the Views for the 22 board last year. So with that being said, as I said, over under is 51. They're giving Vikings 10 points. MJ, I'm actually going to start with you. Players, and are we taking points today?
I'll take the points on this one. I think the Vikings right now is going to have that surge. I don't think they are going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to make a strong push for it. I just like the fact that they're clicking at the right time and they're getting hot at the right time, and it looks like they're having a favorable schedule too. So with Jacksonville, I mean, we know the rhetoric on Jacksonville. They just don't have enough. They fight. I love their spirit, but they just don't have enough. So with that, definitely going with the Vikings. I'll actually take the over on this one because of Jaguars fight. They're going to put up points. They're going to figure out a way to make it interesting. So I'll take the over on this one. I don't think I'm going to take the points with the Vikings, but I'll take the over.
All right. Now, let's go to Vic. Vic, any other key points or key matchups here that you're worried about in this game and why?
A shout out to, first of all, to James Robinson. He's an undrafted rookie running back being overlooked by all these other great running back seasons. You know, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, of course, on the other side of this game. But James Robinson, man, he's been that punch you're talking about, where he's getting a lot of yards. They just seem to not get it in the end zone. So Jacksonville, young team, they got a running back to run with now. They got a great young receiver and DJ Chark. Just continue to develop those guys and find your quarterback. Minnesota should be able to take care of this game. I picked them as that sneaky team to get that 7th spot. They had a loss against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago that they should have not had. But again, take care of business this week. Justin Jefferson, man, like you said, I think he's about 70 yards from 1,000. All right, he's going to be one of the fastest rookie receiving years to 1,000 yards, in 12 games. So that's an outstanding feat by that kid. But the Vikings should be able to handle this game, man.
Absolutely. Ham, anything you got for us?
It's cold in Minnesota, even though they're playing indoors. But the Vikings, they should just pull up like Morris Day and Jerome and just do the Morris Day dance all the way to pull to the 6th win. Exactly. You already know what it is, true. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's
But you
that
gotta, you gotta
OEO energy.
exactly. But you gotta have two of them. See, Justin Jefferson is the perfect dude. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, even though he got his own little signature deal that he doing,
Mm-hmm.
but they're gonna Morris Day their way on to the 500 mark, pull the 6-6. That'd be good. I don't know what score though. Because I
All
ain't watched
right.
Jacksonville. So
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people
kind
ain't
of,
going that
I
way.
try to stay away from slow TV as much
Mm-hmm.
as possible. And I'm not forced to watch them, so cool.
April, predictions and anything you want to add.
It's kind of hard to go after all of you, because you guys just pinpointed on everything that
I'm coming to you first this round.
I have no, but I have nothing to add, I have nothing to add to that. However, I do think the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, I think they'll handle their business today. I think the Vikings will. I think actually the Vikings will cover by like 13.
Oh, okay. Give
If we
me.
could, if we could get Kirk Cousins to do the Morris Day dance, now that'll be worth the admission to watch.
Hey, look. Let me tell you something. If we can get some of these players to do some of these dance that we want them to do, that'll make us root more for them to get the end zone. Hey, look. I'm to be honest with you. So I'm also gonna take the Vikings today because the Vikings demise doesn't start until next week. At the end of the day, that's real as simple. Vic, who you got?
I'm taking the Vikings, and I hope their demise doesn't come next week. I hope they make the playoffs. I like to watch them play. It's a good offense.
All right. The next game, we got the Lions of Detroit that are traveling to the Bears of Chicago. Now, Chicago at this time of year, you go buy your coat from there. You don't come from another city with a coat. You go to Chicago and you purchase your coat with whatever it is that you have. It just is what it is. I went on a hoop trip there. Let me tell you something. When I got there, I thought I was warm because I came from Cleveland. Nah, Chief. Nah. We need a little extra fur. And that's what's gonna have to happen. So I had to get me a dog and wrap it around my neck and pet the dog pet the dog, no animal brutality, anything, friendly to the pet. But I had to, put chinchilla. That's how I go. Vegas has us with this game as a 45 over and under. They're giving the Bears only 3 points against the Lions. Now, with that being said, the key thing here that I'm going to say, and then we're going to swing it to April. Look, man, the Bears do two things well. They rush the passer and they play great situational football on the defensive side of the football. That's just what it is. After that, everything else is in the air. Everything else is in there. I don't know what Trisket is going to do. I mean, they just got their ass handed to them on last, I don't know what that was. I don't know. Every time they see Aaron Rodgers, they might as well just go on and just give him the game because it don't even make no difference. Just like Bears and Packers, no longer national TV. No more. I'm tired. That being said, April, any key matchups or anything you want to discuss on this one?
I mean, the Bears defense is the only thing that probably keep them in this game. I'm not a big their offense is, like you said, it's in the air. We'll see. I think it'll be an easy game for the Bears. I don't know how they're only favored by 3. I take them by 10 against the Lions. The Lions are a mess, period.
Well, I mean, you might take them for 10, but the Bears find a way to get down in the fourth quarter like they did the last time, and then it takes DeAndre Swift to drop a ball that was supposed to be a touchdown for them to lose in the prior matchup. And that was in week 1. So at the end of the day, this is why this is an interesting game. Vic, what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
Well, I mean, listen, Mitch, this might be the last season we'll see him in Chicago, but I mean, he performs against the Lions. All right, he has a 106 quarterback rating against the Lions, which is the highest in his career versus one team. So,
That's
I mean,
a
the
stat for your
Lions,
ass.
yeah, the Lions right now, man, just again, like April said, a lot of issues, a lot of injuries. They should be able to. The Bears should be able to win this game, especially with how strong that defense is. So, and Mitch, I mean, maybe the last final game we see him perform well. All right, so I'll take the Bears on this one.
Ham, who you got? And do you got any other thing you want to say about the Soldier Field matchup we got tonight?
Soldier Field's a lovely field. I saw it when I was in Chicago a year ago. Matter of fact, I have no football reasons for my predictions with this. The only reason why I'm going with Chicago is because they have the greatest deep dish pizza that I've ever had in my life. Bottom line, and MJ and Big Shot, they wouldn't even let me pay the tip. They built a pizza. We had wings, the whole thing. We were chopping it even for like an hour. We on the parking meter. We ain't got time to just really post up and kick it. But that meal, oh yeah, it was it was legit.
No, man, you come to our town, man, you pay nothing. What are you thinking?
I mean, they wouldn't even let me drop the tip, y'all. I'm like,
No.
what do you know? They were gonna jump me if I did, and I had to get back.
We felt disrespected.
Right, so they know when they come to Memphis, if we ain't going to get barbecue, I'm probably gonna get somebody to barbecue for them.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Chicago though, because only thing I like about Detroit is I watch Home Improvement and Tim the Toolman Taylor is a Lions fan. That's cool.
Oh my God! Oh, I knew we was gonna finally get Tim the Toolman Taylor on the show.
Shout out to Al Borland too. Shout out to Al Borland because Al the one that really made the show.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. Look, at the end of the day, I'm so glad we got Tim the Toolman Taylor on the show, man. Shout out. Oh, MJ, bro, what you got on this for fantasy?
Man, I ain't touching nobody on this fantasy. Nobody. I don't want nobody. I don't want the kicker. I don't want the offensive coordinator. The only thing I want is the actual logo names because Bears and Lions is a dope name. Too bad they're not represented by dope people. I don't want nothing to do with this game. I don't know.
My man said that the Lions basically are a sight for sore eyes for Mitch.
Dude, I'm watching that game like this.
Monopoly money, Mitch, I tell you.
I'm watching that game like this.
Hey,
last performance.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The funniest part about this is every time Mitch get on there, I just think of taking a trip to Vegas, man. That's all I can tell y'all. So with that being said, I'm picking the Bears. Look, man, I'm only picking the Bears because the one side of the ball that they're good on is the defensive side. And the Lions are challenged. Like unless Tim the Toolman Taylor come and play quarterback and he bring his hammers and his tools, that's the most aggressive and the most assault that we're gonna see on this type of on the Bears defense is if he take a hammer and hit a helmet. That's about the most we're gonna see.
You know what? I will make a pick. I pick a tie, 10-10.
I was thinking a tie, but
if I just want you to know,
our punters in fantasy, I pick the punter for the fantasy.
No, see, this is why we can't have nice things.
I definitely take the punter.
Vic, did you make your pick already?
Yeah, I said the Bears.
Okay, Bears. Next game. Next we have Vegas of Raiders. Shout out April. Then we have Spirit Airlines. So Vegas is on the Spirit Airlines this week. So that means they're in New York with the Jets. Now, Vegas has the Raiders as a 7.5 favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Let me start and say, I just need to say one thing because I don't spend a lot of time on the Jets. The Jets, why they're called the Jets is because as soon as the game start, you just jet up out of there because you don't want to see that mess. That's just what we're going to call it. April, you got your Raiders traveling there this week. What are you looking forward to this week? This floor is completely yours because we're going to go off April's analysis for this game because we don't got enough time to talk about the Spirit Airlines. So let's ride that wave. Let's go.
Well, the big thing is out today, and so is Jonathan Abram. So I mean, those are key, offense and defense that we're missing. The Raiders offense, we're out. Trent Brown is out again. So we've got Parker in for him, which I was watching film and that guy can't block at all. So it's gonna, if he can't step up his game and block, Carr is going to have a difficult game again. And there's going to be fumbles and there's going to be interceptions like there was this last game where we don't want to talk about. I think with Waller, if you're going to have him being a tight end blocker, he needs to get it together and he needs to block, because there was a couple blocks that he missed, and the Falcons came and like swamped on Carr. So, there's a couple issues. I don't know what was going on with the Raiders, but it was all bad. Let's see. I like Kwiatkowski. I think he's one of the better linebackers in the league. That man just knows the game and he knows how to take on a certain part of the field, period. And I think the problem with that is you've got your safeties and your cornerbacks, because they change every week. You've got them and they rely on him. You can't rely on one man. Do your damn job. It is what it is. But that man does not miss tackles. So I hope that, I hope he has a big game against the Jets. I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know, Carr, everyone's talking about, they're not elite. I think, or that Carr's not the franchise QB. I think they're absolutely that. Earlier, I was talking to MJ. He said, you know what? You just had a bad game. I get it, but the minute the Raiders have a bad game, everybody jumps on that bandwagon. They suck. They're this, they're that, they're garbage. I don't think that this is a huge game. We implode in December, period. Easy. Last year, we lost to the Jets. We got killed by the Jets, 34-3. This year, fighter jet, airline jet, Spirit jet, James jet. Give me the motherfucking Raiders by 25 today. Okay? Just saying. It don't matter.
Well, look. That's what I'm talk yo.
I'm saying. Ugh.
What you mean? Talk that. Talk
Posture's been fixed since we got on the show.
Yes.
It's been fixed the whole time.
Look at her shoulders. And the shoulders is up high. She said real 90-degree English. Perpendicular. That's the vocabulary word for it.
Perpendicular?
Perpendicular. Yes. Mrs. Perpendicular. So with that being said, hey, Vic, who you got today?
Listen, you got a situation here. I talked about it the last 2 weeks. The Raiders came from a very tough loss against the Chiefs where they left it all out on the field. And they had to show up the next week and see if they're up. Are they going to be an elite playoff team? They had to show against the Falcons that they can take care of business. And not only they lost, they got smoked. Okay, it was a bad loss. But you got the team in the Jets that are like the losing streak killers, if that's the term to use. Because if you're in a losing streak, just come on in here in New York, in New Jersey, and pick up a win. There is injuries. Jacobs being out, but I think Devontae Booker can fit in nicely for that offense. Just keep feed him the ball, and just go off of that running back. Go off of the running game today, and keep it off of Carr's shoulders for today. Again, just get back in that playoff race. So I'm taking Oakland here. I'm sorry.
Woo,
Vegas.
Oakland, baby.
I'm taking Vegas in this one. They have to win this game. They just have to.
It's the historian.
Well, to quote the Too Short line in honor of April, because first of all, April, in that breakdown that she gave, April said she watched film. Oh, you cats, man, that don't watch film, and y'all coming doing all this champion, this, that, and the other. You challenging the lab. Shout out to Tanya as well, because she'll watch film. She knows her stuff, and they bring this stuff to the lab. But the too short line, April had a flashback. It was the Oakland Raiders at the Coliseum. They ain't number players. It's just what it is. They do have a task though, because we're right. Vegas is Pacific. They're in the Pacific time zone, right? Or the mountain. Okay, so being Pacific, they came to the Eastern time zone last week, which is already tough for Pacific time zone teams to do at one of the Eastern games. And they got skull drugged. They got A-Town stomped. It was just that simple. We right back again to the East Coast. 1 p.m. start time.
Cold up here too.
Cold. April says 25. I'll match it with the 25. Simply because it's our birthday. I mean, we deserve that. We deserve to have the great things like this. She brought cooks to the show. She popped it on the show. What more can we say? Oakland by however many they need to be over against third down and 41, and you gain 55. Y'all know who that is. That's the Jets.
MJ, fantasy, anything? Fantasy?
No fantasy, or just you know what? Play Booker because Jacobs is out and they're gonna give him the ball. But just a quick anecdote. Like I watch One on One now on Netflix with my wife. We finally found a show that we both watch and rock with. And there was one episode in particular where Flex's friend Dwayne realized that he was bad luck. Anybody he touched, they just lose.
I remember that.
Because it was at the casino. Whoever watched that episode, definitely check it out. I think Dwayne touched all 53 of the Spirit Airline players. I really believe it at this point. So, of course, I'm going with the Raiders. Not because I think the Raiders are an elite football team where they're going to bounce back, but because the Spirit Airlines was touched by Dwayne. And I think he touched the Bears offense too. I got to look more research. I think he touched the Bears offense too. But, yeah. Y'all stop letting Dwayne touch y'all, man.
One on One was a fine show, though. I used to enjoy that joint.
Very underrated. During the 2000s, I wasn't watching a lot of TV because of, reasons that I would rather not mention. But now that I get to watch it with a grown-up mind, dope show.
Yeah, it was one of those dope back-to-back Monday on UPN shows.
Yeah.
So the last two times that the Raiders have traveled, two games in particular stand out. They had a game against Cleveland that they scored 16 points. They had the game last week against the Dirty Birds that they scored 6 points. The consistent in these two games is 1 o'clock starts and East Coast teams. With that being said, I'm interested to see if they can break this little curse that they're in right now and be able to make this the game that it's supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, I said the Jets were going to get a win this year.
Is this
my God?
It feels like it's leaning to the first win for the Jets, bro. What was happening here?
You finna get that.
Nothing. I was just nothing. I was just providing color commentary here. But with that being said, give me the Raiders. I just think that they can break this cycle. We got to make it out these cycles, and this is the time of year that you have to be able to do it. This is probably the easiest game that you're gonna have this month. You better win. This is the You Better Special. The You Better Special. So give me the Raiders today to take care of this business. All right. Now, changing tempos, we're gonna start to get into some more interesting matchups here. We got the New York Football Giants, Jorge and those guys. Those guys are traveling to the AJ Myers and the Russell Wilson. See, I almost call him Russell Westbrook too, right? See, that shows you, man. Just too many Russells. Bill Russell, never mind. Russell Crowe, all these, it's too many. But yes, man, look. But we got the Seahawks, we got the Giants. Over under is 47, 10.5 points going to the Seahawks at home. I'm going to make my analysis really simple. This is another you better game. I don't care if you can't run the ball. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Russ, it's time to put the ball all around the field. And I'm going to put it in simple terms because I want Russ to do this. And the green grass grows all around, and the green grass grows all around. So that's what I want the football to do. Go all around. Spread it around like the green grass. Vic, what you got for him?
Listen, DK Metcalf has been excellent year two. Exceeding my expectations by a mile and a lot of people's expectations because he was a second-round pick last season. You know what I mean? So he's been killing it. He's going to go up against arguably one of the best corners in football right now, James Bradbury. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch on film. DK has been killing some of these tough corners, man. So It's going to be interesting what happens there. But like you said, John Russ is going to spread the ball. I see Lockett getting a lot of receptions here just because the rest of that Giants secondary is just awful. Opposite Bradbury. So Lockett can easily get a lot of yardage, a lot of catches today. Plug them into your lineups. But like you said, you got the Giants going over to Seattle. Seattle should be able to take care of business and kind of take that number 1 seed because, if the Saints lose, the Seahawks can't win today and be that number 1 team in the conference like I expect them to be with the best quarterback in the world.
In the world, Craig. April, anything you would like to add for this matchup?
Sure. I think that the Seahawks are probably going to force, we got a mediocre at best Giants offense. They got a backup quarterback playing. They're going to make him throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing else to say about this game. I think the Seahawks are probably, if they can't, what baffles me is that the NFC East is even in a contention for playoffs. 4-7. I mean, really? So sorry, Dad, because I know you're a Giants fan, but
shout out to Dad watching. Shout out to Dad, April's dad watching.
Yeah. I say Seahawks. I'll give you my prediction if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's going to be Seahawks 24, Giants 10.
Solid number.
MJ, anything for fantasy?
Play everybody that got a Seattle jersey uniform. Everybody. Play them all. With the Giants, I think it's just a bad matchup for them. But I think now, after last week, at first I thought Philadelphia was going to make a run and push for it, but the culture is just too shot over there. So now the next one up is the Giants. I think Jorge gets to see the Giants in the playoffs this season. Yes, I am allowed to change my mind because the lab allows me to change my mind because the lab shows me stuff that makes me have no choice but to change my mind. So,
well, Hamburglar, what you got for me?
I'm rooting for every NFC East team to lose every remaining game that they have, including the ones against each other. Just that simple. I want to see a 10, 11, 12 loss possible division winner, just for historical purposes. And shout out to Seattle with all the grunge bands, alternative bands, and great bands of the 90s and whatnot. I don't really do Starbucks. It rained too much up there. But I did see a dope interview with Sean Kemp the other day. So just all things Seattle going well with that one. They're playing the Giants. Knicks, Jets, Giants, Mets. They all ain't shit, B. Just what it is.
And he was rhyming too. That man was in his bag.
That was like Cameron inspired, by the way.
Yeah. I keep computers puting. I get shot at, homie. I do the shooting. Woo. That's what that man was talking about. No. But with that being said, hey man, give me the Seahawks. This should be simple. This should be a simple week. Again, this is the week you are who you are. It is who he is. It is what it is. So if Seattle, we just got to take care of business. Next game we're going to go to on the docket. We got the Denver Broncos. My guy KG traveling they're going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here they
Wow.
Yeah. And we got over under at 51. We got 13.5 points going to the Chiefs. 2 touchdown favorite, damn near. That's crazy. But you know what? Drew Lock is back this week, so that should be interesting. And most importantly, I don't think it's going to be 13.5. I think it's going to be something. Now, this is the thing. I'm about 10% leaning that it could go to 21. But the other part is I feel like it's going to be a 10-point game. For whatever reason, Denver is always a team that plays Kansas City extremely close. Mm-hmm. And it just is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and make my predictions and go around the horn. It's going to be this simple. I think Kansas City just takes care of business because they're in a situation where Pittsburgh may slip up and lose twice. So Kansas City going 15-1 is very, very important. That's all I'm going to say. They're on a mission. They want that bye. They want to look at the rest of them and say, you peasants. They want to do that. That's what they want to do because they got my homie, the coldest man in the galaxy right now. This just is what it is. I'm going to start with Vic. Any key matchups, anything key in this game that you're looking forward to or looking at?
I mean, the Denver defense is still a solid defense despite what's going on with the team overall. They have a chance, to keep the Chiefs in a low-scoring game, but I think the Chiefs are just going to be too much for them. Again, Drew Lock, just keep continuing to see if you can build an offense, build a team around him. You got the receivers, you got a tight end, you got some running backs. Let's see what they got. Other than that, I mean, the Chiefs should be able to win this game. I think it'll be tight. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like the last few times these teams have matched up, but I think the Chiefs win this game, handle business, and all the starters will be off the field by the fourth quarter.
All right, April, what you got for us for this matchup?
I believe it was Mo who said it's a division game any given Sunday. I got receipts on that one. So with that being said, I really don't care who wins. I would rather it just be Kansas City just because they're already number one and doesn't really do anything to the Raiders. But it's one of them games. So it's a toss up. I think the Chiefs will pull it off. I think it'll be a close one just because it's a division game. So I'll say give me the Chiefs by a score. That's it.
All right. Ham.
Kansas City, Golden State, Warrior, Chiefs. Enough said. Vic kind of stole my thunder a little bit when he mentioned that they might not even play in the fourth. But, and that's very Golden State of them, Golden State of the last 5-6 years, whatever. But y'all just brought it back full circle that, it is a divisional game. Divisional game in December. A lot of animosity, just especially with the AFC West squads. They all hate each other's guts, historically. But I still like the Chiefs, to go ahead and continue on with that. Just keep it rolling. I don't know how many, backflips we may see from 10, but
Hopefully.
MJ, any fantasy players?
First off, shouts out to Tariq Hill for keeping me in the playoff race last week. Salute to you. I do not expect him to repeat that. I think anybody who respects him to repeat that is delusional and needs to get their life in order. With that, I think Edwards-Helaire is going to be an Edwards-Helaire type game. I am waiting and anticipating patiently for them to start getting Le'Veon Bell involved, because once they unleash that weapon, Jesus, I'm scared to see what that can even be like, because he can actually just run routes as another receiver. They could play a 2 running back, two receiver, and just throw Kelsey out there and can spread it out 5 wide and be comfortable, or a 4-out spread and be comfortable. They can do a lot of ugly things. I'm just waiting to see when they're going to let go of Le'Veon. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We'll see.
With that being said, we got a couple more small fry games, then we're going to get to some comments, and then we're going to go to the big 4 for the week. All right, so the next 2 games that we're going to get to here, we're going to run through these games a little bit faster here, because honestly, these are those type of games that just is like whatever.
We don't care.
Let's start at the top. We got the Saints going to the Falcons. The Saints are 3-point favorites. Over-under is 46. We just seen Taysom Hill win a game that he didn't have to throw for very many yards or do too much of anything against this same team. The Falcons just skull drug April's team. Sorry. When I say skull drug, you remember how when you used to play your Pokemon game back in the day and you had Blastoise and he had Skull Bash? Them folks hit them folks with the Skull Bash with a Blastoise. I was like, whoa, that's unique. That's different. I ain't seen that since about 2010. But anyway, that being said, I do not trust this Falcons team in the regular season as much as I don't trust the Saints in any season. So with that being said, it just is what it is, because MJ, what they do is they put on for the city. They be down there with the be down there kicking and everything else, and then here comes January, and then we get no February. It's another Lombardi stealing, just another Lombardi stealing organization. They ain't winning nothing, B. They just not. With that being said, Hey man, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick now. Saints should take care of this at home, on the road, because defensively they should be able to match up and make this very tough for Atlanta. Who Matt Ryan, for whatever reason, just sucks in the red zone. I've been telling y'all this for 4.5 years now. That man in the red zone is equivalent to me without my glasses on. Enough said. April, anything you want to add to this?
I don't appreciate the skull bashing comment, but okay.
Mhm.
I mean,
I agree with you. I'm actually, just because I think Atlanta's on their little cloud nine at the moment. I'm going to take Atlanta by a field goal. Their defense was obviously above par last weekend, so I'm just going to stick with what I envision, and that's Atlanta winning by 3.
okay.
I don't want to touch on that subject because it's touchy still. It's a weak wound.
It's a sensitive subject. I got you. Understand. Vic, what you got on this one?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jeremy, the Falcons defense has been playing better, bro. Especially giving up 6 points against that Las Vegas offense. So I mean, the Broncos were able to keep Tyson Hill to just 78 yards passing. Okay, they mixed up a lot of coverages on him. If you're able to keep him on some mid-range to long-range situations, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 7s, and things like that, it's going to be tough for them to get some first downs. So I'm picking the Falcons in this game. I think this is where the Saints start to slide. Like I said earlier, the Seahawks have a chance to take first place in this conference. I think the Saints lose today and take a couple steps back this next month, basically. Give me the Falcons in this game, man. Give me them by give me them by a score. I think they got 7 points on the Falcons, Saints today.
Ham.
One of the thing about the Saints that you mentioned earlier about with January was the last three Januaries they lost to Kirk Cousins twice and Jared Goff the other time. And I'm only laughing because it's like, we all know the narratives with those two. But today, Saints, I don't really even know the score. Atlanta, man, I mean, they're good for the wings and Lou Williams, Magic City style. I try to stay away from Atlanta too. It's just slow TV is bad for the skin, man. It's just, you got to drink extra water after you watch teams like Atlanta. I ain't got nothing football related for them. Saints, I really don't care for much of them either. They cry too much in January after they leave too many points on the field, even with 9. But Saints today, 3-0. I don't even give a shit.
We got the Colts traveling to Houston to face the Texans. We got Vegas at 50.5. We got the Colts as a 3.5 favorite. I'm just gonna keep this simple, and this is all that needs to be said. The Texans look like they're playing better. They look like the Bill O'Brien curse has been lifted off their shoulders. So now Willie Beeman is back. But here's the problem now. Now you done took Will Fuller out of this offense for at least the next 6 weeks, which is going to be big for them. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I do think the Colts have, with this cover 2 defense, enough, because they have been the team that has been the kryptonite to Deshaun Watson. They really have. For whatever reason it is, I don't know if they're doing a good job on the back end of taking some things away, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go ahead and pick the Colts. Colts, take care of business, win this game this week. It is what it is. Houston, you're a couple years away. And by the way, Houston has no first round capital again this year. So their first round pick, then they're going to be a top 10 selection, which is really needed on this organization. They're going to be giving that pick to the Dolphins. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You see, it's all just a game, ladies and gentlemen. It's all just a game. April, I'm going to come to you first. Is there anything that you would like to say?
I still think Phillip Rivers is weak in the deep throw game. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that game. I'm going to go against the grain, though, and I'm going to take Texans. but not by a lot, by maybe a field goal.
Okay.
Just because. I know they're going up against a top-rated defense, but it's Phillip Rivers, so I don't know. You gotta give.
MJ,
It is what it is.
MJ, any fantasy on this one?
I am now purchasing Deshaun Watson stock.
Oh,
It's not gonna. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna sell it until about 3 years from now. But I'm buying that stock. He's gonna be what Wilson is right now in 3 years. If you look at,
he's already ahead of schedule.
yeah, if you look at the things that he just went through in these last 10 months alone, losing your favorite target, having a coach that just did not believe in building the appropriate culture, and as soon as they get rid of him, he still is able to perform at a high level and keep games even close. Like people forget when they played against Pittsburgh, who was 11-0, by the way, he wasn't really rattled much. He did his thing. So it's like all of the pieces are there. So I want them to win, so I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick the Texans to win because I want them to win.
H-Town, baby. Paul Wall, baby. Switch a house.
Let me see your grill.
Back. Just look in the back. And anyway, City
See
is
your
back.
grill.
Just look at the map. Though we was up in the game. I'm sorry. I was about to go because it's old school right there. Hey, Vic. So what you got on this one, man?
Yeah, I mean, real quick, you got a situation where Phillip Rivers has only been sacked 10 times this year. That offensive line has been tremendous, but they are without Anthony Costanzo this week. I think he will be out. So the Texans can provide a little bit of a pass rush. So I'm with April. I'm taking the Texans in this game. I don't know. The Colts, to me, tough defense, but Deshaun Watson has been ridiculous. This is a game where they can easily take and kind of knock down that Colts playoff chances this week. So I'm taking the Texans.
With Kenny Steele to act the fool this week.
Jay Ham.
You beat me to the punch talking about Swisher House. So, Pimp C anniversary of his death was just a couple days ago. Actually, on your birthday.
Hey.
Pat, DJ Screw, all those legends down there in the H. I don't know nobody fly from Indianapolis. Okay.
Mike Epps.
Aside from Mike Epps. I mean, but he got jokes, he funny, but he ain't rhyming.
How about Quentin Nelson?
That's the only white dude I know in my life, in my 40 years. That's the only white dude I've ever seen named Quentin. That's fly too. I give him that. He ain't from Indianapolis.
That's
he
true.
went to school. He went to school in the state though. He's Notre Dame guy, right? Okay, you can give him a point there. Just because of that, the Texans will win by on the defensive score. It won't be because of Quentin Nelson. They'll do so. If Phillip Rivers will get a game away, that's why I'm rolling with Houston.
All right, now we get the Power Four. Let's start where we need to start, and let's start where the sun shines, and where when it never rains is Southern California. Oh, see, never mind. With that being said, we have the Patriots. We got the Bill Belichick Patriots traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. We have an over-under of 47, and they're giving the Chargers 2 points. Chargers are a 2-point favorite. So they said a safety. First of all, give me the Patriots simply because you just gave that much disrespect. I'm picking the Patriots. I can't pick pick dysfunction over at least the Patriots got some players and some things that we can do a culture to build around. So give me the Patriots in this game, and this is simple to me. Vic, I'm gonna slide it right over to you.
Give me the Chargers, man. I just want to see the Patriots continue to lose. I know Germ, they're a better coach team right now, better culture, but give me that Justin Herbert Chargers offense. This kid has been in a tremendous role. 4 more touchdowns, and he'll get the quarterback rookie record over Baker Mayfield. All right, so Justin Herbert showing Cam Newton how to play quarterback. Give me the Chargers in this game by like 3.
Ham.
Ooh. Man, I don't even know about this one. The Chargers culture has just been beat up. all year. Even with the other news that we got the other day that Tyrod Taylor didn't file his grievance and whatnot. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'll not to jump out too topic with that, but New England, if New England in the mud today. I'll just go with that. New England flip that, take those 2 points back that they favor the Chargers, and they'll get out of there. Because they still got a shot, like you mentioned. We talked about that prior, to the show. They still got a way to creep into that back door spot and get one of those sevens, but they'll need to get this one today to get there.
All right. And MJ, anything for fantasy?
For fantasy, Patriots kicker, I think the Patriots win. But this is the most underwhelming Patriots team I've ever seen. I'm not excited about this team at all. I'm only picking them because of what Chargers did to Tyrod. I haven't forgave him. Even if he has, it has nothing to do with football. I just do not. Y'all got to make this right. Hopefully, y'all made it right under the table, which is the reason why he didn't press charges on y'all. But y'all need to figure that out. But shouts out to Justin Herbert, though. Shouts out to him. He's doing this game.
Yeah, he's doing this thing for sure.
April, any predictions for you?
They said Leon said it in the comments. Bill doesn't lose to rookies. However, Bill doesn't have number 12. So with that being said, I still think the Patriots will take this game. It'll be very close. It really will. I don't think. What do you guys call him? Scam Newton. I just don't think that. He's not consistent. He's not. And I will. I'm just saying. But it'll be a close game. I still think the Patriots will win, but it won't be by a lot. Maybe a field goal.
Who called him Scam Newton?
Me. That's my name for him. Scam Newton.
Huh.
Yeah,
Scam. That
that's
MVP season was a scam.
Actually, they called him that when they heard about the 180K.
That was the best deal Auburn could have ever got. That was a steal.
And the funny part is they weren't even Auburn. It was Mississippi State 180K.
Oh man. So well, you see here on the scene, we peep the scene, but we don't really talk much about it. That's all we're gonna say. See how we just put that to the scene? Never mind.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't here for that. But anyway, with that being said, then now we got the other team that resides in Southern California, and they tell me
Never rain. Never rain.
And we got
Which is a lie.
Rams.
I'll tell you how that story another time.
So we got the Rams traveling to Arizona, to Glendale, to face the Cardinals.
Oh, that's a tough
I'm
one.
going to be honest with y'all. This is a very, very important game. This is why this is one of the last one.
Rotel.
This may not be the Rotel special.
Yeah,
but it might be. Hey, look, we might have to split the Rotel on this game and the last game.
It depends on how much Rotel you want to eat. I already know where we're going with this one.
Hey, but
Make
look,
the crock pot. You got to make the whole crock pot for this.
hey, listen. If you got a 1:00 game, that's the heavy hitter is the next game. That's the biggest game of the week because of the playoff implications. But this game is right there next to it. And this is the 4:00 game. Look, Cardinals got to get back on the winning track here. Period. Otherwise, you know Mick. You know Mick. That's what I say to when you play spades with me. You know Mick. That's what I say. So don't get on the table with me. Shouts out to my pops. Because when we get on the table, it gets ugly. But with that being said, I see this Rams team being able to hit them in the mouth with that physical running game. That's the issue that I have here. One team can control the clock, but Kyler Murray is at this stage in his career now and at the quarterback level that I can say he can go down and win the game if it comes to a late game situation. With that being said, I'm going to pass it to Vic. I want Vic's analysis on this, and then we're going to go around the horn. What you got for us?
Yeah, right now you got Kyler with a right shoulder injury. His shoulder's kind of been bothering him. So you have a situation here where do you want him to stay in the pocket and pass? Do you want him to run? You know what I mean? So the more he has to run, the more susceptible he is to getting that shoulder hurt. But like you said, man, the Rams rushing offense has gotten a lot better. They need to keep Goff at 20-25 passes a game, even though they have an elite receiving class or receiving core. But they need to run the ball, man, because I mean, Goff at times can throw the game away. So the Cardinals defense is an opportunistic defense. So, I mean, Goff, again, 2025 throws, give that running game about 30, 35 of these plays because they're going to definitely need it if they want to make a playoff push. But I was going to go Cardinals, but I just think that Murray has a lot of work to do.
This is a really hard one to pick this week, man, because this is
and Murray, listen, Murray has been good, but has also been bad in certain situations. And and if he can't run the football right now, if we're trying to keep him in the pocket, because of course the game will dictate if he's going to get out of the pocket and things like that. If you want him to stay in the pocket, it's going to be tough. I think the Rams win this game. That defense might be too strong, and that rushing offense might be too strong for this Cardinals team right now.
So, Ham, do you have anything you want to add to this?
This is one of those December games that this is the stuff December games are made of. Because as you alluded to earlier, you got to have this one. Because if you get this one, you pretty much, this is a playoff game. Not with playoff implications. This is a playoff game for these two. Even here, right here in week 13, because coming off both of them coming off losses last week, especially the way that they lost. Wrong time to kind of really stub your foot, stub your toe that way. Got to have this one today. I like the Rams because of 99-20. Best two, defenders, two of the best defenders in football, really two of the best I've seen in my lifetime, but they got some fire on the other side in Arizona too. Just let me get Sean McVay get the edge today over cool ass Cliff Kingsbury.
I'm gonna say this. I picked the Seattle Seahawks to win this division.
Mm-hmm.
I see this Rams team hit that team in the mouth. I seen that Rams team give them all that they can handle. I see in this game the similar things, but for Kyler Murray. I think this Rams team is perfectly put together to beat a lot of these teams with these athletic quarterbacks because of 99-20. It's just really that simple. 99-20 make that big of a difference. Give me the Rams today, and that's just what I'm going after. Give me the Rams. April, who you rolling with today? Because I know you got a couple notes for this one.
I do, actually. So, as I've learned from all you guys, facts are facts. The fact is, Sean McVay is 6-0 against the Cardinals, regardless if they have Murray. So, I feel that even though the Cardinals are a different team offensively, and I think they've pretty much got the most they have the most average yards, I think 407 yards a game, the most in the league. I still don't think they could beat the Rams with Donald. But the Cardinals are a blitzing team. So if they're going to be blitzing, Goff, he's got to make better decisions with that football. He's got to. And they're going to blitz. And if he can't get it off, well, bye, Goff. So I still have the Rams. I have the Rams with this one, though. I have the Rams 27, the Cardinals 21.
Well, for all my golf players, go ahead.
And it's going to be an exciting game, too, because, we have we have Ramsey versus Hopkins. We have, this is like an AFC South,
Yep.
Yes. So, and I like Hopkins. So, is what it is.
Well, we're all hoping to see for all my golf players. I'm hoping to see Top Golf today. With that being said, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't got no sense. This is I don't know what happened. What's wrong with me? I don't know. Okay, now we got the main event this week, and it's very. This is a funny game to me. Why? Because the history of my hometown and where Ham is from in Tennessee. Why is this interesting? Because there was a time in about 10 years ago where the Browns could have made the playoffs if Tennessee would have lost. Well, what did Tennessee do? They went and took care of business. The last year, the Browns had all that hype. Tennessee came in there and hit them in the mouth and beat them by 20. And they said, well, y'all crowned the Browns too early. So now we got a little bit of a situation on our hand. Also, Tennessee took one of the best backs out of Ohio State by the name of Mr. Eddie George. And he was a dominant player for them for years. We talk about when they were still the Oilers. So yeah, see, we in the bag. We in the bag. Look at Ham. So I'm gonna go to Ham first. I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm gonna bring up the rear on this one. Ham, I'm gonna let you go first. What you got for me on this one?
I'm old enough to remember when the AFC Central was the Oilers, the Browns, the Steelers, the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Who else did they have in there with them? Back then it was a 5-team division. And the Oilers and the Browns used to fight everybody. Straight up. Back in the 80s, they didn't matter. The Steelers, they were whooping them. They were fighting the Oilers. It was always going down. And even bringing it back full circle when you mentioned the Ohio and Tennessee references, one of the most notable Memphians, Jerry the King Lawler, is a Cleveland Browns fan and actually a Cleveland native. He was born in Cleveland, moved to Memphis, but he maintained his fandom for the Browns. And the Eddie George tie-ins, all of that good stuff, man. It brings it back. And then you get this game in December. Once again, this is the stuff that December games are made of. Playoff implications in this one because they both gonna be in the halls. It is what it is. Two of the best running backs in the game right now, bringing it. Quarterback play, they doing their job. Defense is doing their job. I watched the Titans. I've joked about the Titans for years. Like, yo, this is like nap time, especially at noon. You can get you a good nap in. You wake up just in time for the 4:25 game, and you all good. It ain't like that with the Titans no more. They're playing good, exciting football. I'm up. I'm watching them. And our guy Trav, he told us at the beginning of the year, Cleveland's gonna win 10. What 8-6?
8-3.
8-3. What fuck I got 6 from? 8-3, we two away. Yeah, I mean, today could be the day, but yo, it's a lot on the line, man. And
you don't have to pick yet. Don't pick. You won't have to pick yet.
I'm gonna stick with Tennessee. I haven't even got no score for it, but Tennessee by 1. Straight up.
MJ, fantasy players.
Run. All of the running backs, both teams. Get them. Throw AJ Brown in there, a little sprinkle of AJ Brown, throw a little bit of Jarvis Landry in there. If you got a PPR league, only if you got a PPR league, because I think passing yards is going to be at premium this game. At this point, it's going to be who's better, Chubbs or Henry. And even though Chubbs is more sound, it's more like technically sound than Henry. Henry is 240, 6'4". So it's like
we talked about. It's different. It's different hitting him than it is hitting most running backs.
Yeah.
April, I'm gonna swing it to you. Then we're gonna go to Vic because I know Vic got some good notes on this because me and Vic have studied and we talk about the offensive line extensively with these teams. But April, I want to get your notes on this game, on this big game.
I mean, who would have thought the Browns would be 8-3 this year without Odell? I'm just saying. So the big thing with the Browns is they've got to stop Henry, which means guess what? The Browns need to make plays. Hello. So, I mean, it is what it is with that. I think, if you want to compare quarterbacks, Baker and Tannehill are kind of comparable, except that Baker hasn't turned the ball over in 4 weeks. And I think his touchdowns to interceptions are good. I don't know. I just think he's got to throw some touchdowns. I know the run game is big, but he's got to throw some touchdowns. He's got to have more than a 200. He's got to have a more of a 200 plus passing yard game for them in order to win. And I did, believe it or not, take the Browns to win 24-21.
Vic, I'm gonna start with you, and we're gonna bounce off of each other for about 30 seconds here because it's some things here that I'm gonna say. I'm gonna start. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start something.
Go ahead.
In this stretch where the Browns have been for that they have won these last few games, I have seen a lot of throws that Baker is missing in the red area. The red area is my big concern for this Cleveland offense. He's missing the tight ends on some of those routes that should be the back of the end zone. That's the bucket drill that we would be having in practice. So he needs to clean that up. He missed Higgins on a route that Higgins was so wide open that I mean it looked like he parted the Red Sea. It was pretty bad. But with those things being said, when you got Nicholas Ebenezer Jeremiah Chubb the third, he's the best running back in the league right now. So let's just start there. Best running back in the league versus the guy who's probably playing the best right now, and Derrick Henry. What you got?
Like you said, this is number one and number two. Henry and Chubb being 1 and 2 in rush yards this season. I mean, this is going to be a physical game. They both attack their their game differently. You got Henry, who trusts his offensive line a lot to create some wide open lanes for him, and then once he's downhill is a wrap. I mean, that dude's his stride length, his size, hard to bring down. And then Chubb is just creative. Both teams have a great offensive line, but just these guys attack so different. It's fun to watch. I don't know why this is not a 4 o'clock game. It's 1 o'clock. It's going to be in 12 minutes right now. Should be one of the big games of the week. But hey, they'll earn that spot one day. I hope both these teams continue on the path that they're going. Like you said, Jerome Baker, I have high expectations still for Baker. I think his trajectory is slow. He's never was a big high school name. He wasn't a 5-star recruit. He had to walk in Oklahoma. And I just think that his progression is slow. So I think, we just have to have patience with Baker. Right now, like April said, he is not turning over the ball, which is great, but he still needs to not leak plays on the field to take that next step as an elite quarterback. But the Browns got Myles Garrett back today, folks.
Yep.
And that man loves to stop the run. So him against Henry,
and there is no Taylor Lewan.
Ooh.
Taylor Lewan is one of the 4 tackles that give Myles Garrett a run for his money every time they play. No Taylor Lewan. Myles Garrett is going to wreak some havoc today.
So it was
there's also no Isaiah Wilson.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got a situation on our hands here where you got Myles coming back after being off 2 weeks because of COVID. So now we got fresh legs to go along with that. We got fresh legs to go along with that. And I'm going to be honest with you. The key matchup, Desmond King, Jarvis Landry. Desmond King was brought for these type of receivers. That's what I'm here for. Go ahead, Ham.
That you mentioned that he's coming back with the fresh legs from off COVID. That's something to actually watch for because of just how the COVID symptoms have played and really taken a lot of energy out of some. Some, not all. So it's just something that let's see how many snaps he's gonna get. Just initially,
yeah, it's not confirmed if he had it or he was just next to somebody that had it. So I don't know if this. I don't think that was confirmed, Jerm. I don't know if you heard anything about it, but that is a good outlook because he has fresh legs, but is he gonna have fresh lungs?
Here's something interesting. The Browns, in a lot of some of these games, have still been able to generate pressure and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So they don't need Myles to play more than a 65 to 70% of the snaps. If he does that, Myles Garrett is still going to be good for 2 to 2.5 sacks in a game and about 4 solid tackles, which are going to be in a situation. So I'm interested to see how this guy goes down. So here's what we got. I'm picking the Browns today because Cleveland, it's this simple for me. If you want to be taken serious, you got 2 big games in a row. You got this game against the Titans, and next week you got to play the Ravens. Next week, if you take care of business this week, you can knock the Ravens, what they call the F out of the playoffs, and you can you can knock your former self out of the playoffs. And look, I want Midnight Views next week to have a picture of the Browns and to have the picture, the Spider-Man meme, with one side saying Cleveland and the other side saying Baltimore and saying you. I want that to be the picture for Midnight Views if the Browns take care of business next week. Period. And they do it on Monday night. Give me the Browns today, man. Browns, show me what y'all gonna do.
That's a Monday night game next week?
Yeah, yes, that's a Monday night game next week with the Ravens.
So we might have to have an additional
Oh, we're
Midnight
gonna have
Views.
some fun with that.
Because Midnight Views is Sunday though, so we might have to do it
Yeah,
different with them.
we might have to figure out something.
I'm gonna make the meme for you today. So the meme's done.
Listen, we're
Vic, who you picking?
yeah, where Tennessee might have an advantage is with those two receivers, AJ Brown, Corey Davis. So that's going to be the tough matchup. If Myles Garrett can create some pressure there though and change some of those plays, the Browns defense has a chance. So I'm taking the Browns this week, bro. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a fight, and I wish it was a 4:00 game, but hey. Let's go Browns with this one. 9-3, baby.
All right. So real quick before we leave, you guys, we gonna go ahead. We're gonna jump into some comments. I was gonna do it in the middle, but I'll do it at the end because I was gonna extend it to about 5-6 minutes before kickoff. To be honest with y'all, we just want to say thank you for y'all tuning in. Shouts out to Big Shot. Obviously, he's here. Shouts out to Siobhan. Shouts out to Dennis, Trav, Calvin, Jorge, Tyshawn Mo was even in the comments here. He said he loved everybody, man, and he also said shouts out to MJ for the goggles, man. Last night was mad real. Is his exact words. Hey, man, Leon Williams, bro. Shout out to you. You active and you're here every week as well, man. Got to give you some love. Greg, man, Greg Sterling, shout out to you as well, brother. Thanks for you stopping by. And of course, man, hey, we got Big Jeff Hallman on the live today. Anytime Jeff shows up, we got to give him and roll out the red carpet for him. Shouts out to him. But some of the comments here that stand out, everybody's wondering where our guy Mo is. Mo had to take care of some business today. So, of course, what we're gonna do for Mo later is we're gonna do Zip Midnight Views at midnight. So we got a midnight edition coming, and we're actually gonna go ahead and probably preview the Steelers and Washington game then. That way, our guy can get some analysis and some of his great and illustrious lab work in. But we're gonna talk about some of the things that happened today and everything else like that. That being said, we got. Let me see.
April, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to say my dad texted me. The poor guy is not tech savvy, and he said he was watching the game. He wanted to make some comments. He knows the Giants are going to lose, but he said, "Go Notre Dame."
Hey, can't be wrong with that. Can't nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't work. Go for the other one. Shout out to the other teams.
Well, with that, we got a couple interesting little comments here. I want to find some. Leon, if I have to pick a Pokemon red or blue, give me Pokemon yellow because I can have all of the Pokemon. Let's see.
Leon said somebody on the aisle.
Vic, he said you called them the last Vegas Raiders. That was Trav. You called them the last Vegas offense. I said, "Dang, that's crazy."
That's a mistake, April. Sorry, April. Sorry.
That was just disrespect.
Can Josh Gordon come back, Leon? Yes, he can. He actually was reinstated this week. That was also some news from this week. And Seattle now has a situation where they have another big guy outside of DK Metcalf, which is going to be very interesting. This is bad.
And Jorge.
I don't like the comment by Milan with the whole 45-20 earlier in the comments. You know what? Get over it.
Milo.
About 12 today, so get over it.
They got Josh Gordon back in the city where the weed is all good.
Yeah, I know. That's where Zeke started off all his nonsense too.
Mm-hmm. Jorge said that DK gonna get shut down, dog. He said
who?
DK
Bradbury
by Bradbury. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. See how that go.
First of all, that man got two names. That man got two names as a last name. But with that being said,
3 first names. Brad and Barry.
That man got 3 names. How you got 3 names like that, Chief? And ain't even a middle name. What's his middle name? Middle name probably something goofy
that's
too.
That's a great question. Go ahead. Let me look it up.
Shouts out to KG who jumped on here too just the last couple minutes, man. But yeah, look, y'all. We just want to say thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. I appreciate all your support as we jump into the games. Sure, you guys jump on the thread. With that being said, any final thoughts before we wrap up and get to the game?
So he does not have a middle name, but he is the fourth. All right, so there's four men walking this earth with 3 first names.
Wow.
Shout out to Grandpa if they still alive.
The grandpas and the great grandpa, yeah. Papa. So with that being said,
Yeah.
MJ, Ham, Vic, April, True, Views from the 22, live on the scene, Instagram, the.scene, Twitter, scene_the. Make sure y'all come to, if you're already here, like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys turn your notifications because you never know when we may go live. We got midnight views dropping at midnight tonight. Hey, man, that's pretty much all we need to talk about today,
Happy
man.
birthday
Enjoy
to
the
y'all.
games, man.
December.
Man, thanks. The birthdays. Hey, man, shouts out to MJ. He's coming up. But at the end of the day, man, it's nothing but a sad thing, baby. Uh-oh. The scene is the label that pays, man. Hey. That being said, man, 2-2, we out. Enjoy the show.